tuned. Hey y'all, so before I put on my wig, I just decided to do my makeup. So while I'm doing my makeup, I am going to tell y'all a story about how I found out I was getting cheated on. So I guess we'll call the guy in the story Eric. So me and Eric met my freshman year of college, like the week before finals week actually. I had slid in his DMs and he DM'd me back, and so we hung out really until it was time to go home. And we kept in touch all summer and started dating in the summer. We live in two different places. Like I live in the country part of Missouri and he lives in St. Louis, so we were like 2.5 hours away from each other. But we kept in touch during the summer. We called ourselves dating. So yeah. So sophomore year is when the cheating started. Literally. We got to school. I guess this really doesn't matter, but school started back in August, duh. And I think I moved in that Friday, I want to say. So I lived in like this place called Towers. It's like 4 different dorms. And then Eric lived in Greek housing on campus. So it was literally like a 2-minute walk to his dorm from mine. So that's how close we were. So that night that we got to school, me and my bestie decided to go out because, of course, you know, normally when you move in, that's party weekend, like parties everywhere. So we went out, and me being the goody two-shoes that I am, you know, didn't talk to anybody. People were trying to talk to me, exchange numbers with me, and I just wasn't going. I was stiffing everybody, and it was literally some cute people in the building. So let this be a warning to all my girls. Don't start dating anybody just because, like, listen, don't start dating anybody just because you feel like, I guess, you want to date somebody. Like, actually take your time, date around, so you pick the right person if that's what you want to do. Okay, so whatever. So at the party, I didn't give out my number. I was stiffing everybody. So I got home, back to my dorm, and I had texted Eric like on the way back to my dorm, and I was like, hey, you want to hang out tonight? Am I coming over? Da 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 da. No answer. And you know what? It really didn't click in my head like that was a bad thing that he didn't answer, because I mean, he was a frat person, and this is like the Caucasian fraternity, so you know they party different. So he was at whatever party that they was doing. So he did text me back, so I got home. I was bored, just laying in bed, and I happened to get on Twitter, because why not? You know, everybody gets on Twitter when they're bored. Got on Twitter, and I seen this tweet that just rubbed me the wrong way. Basically because it didn't have anything to do with me, and he tweeted it, so I was confused. So me being the nosy person that I was, I had to get to the bottom of it. And I can't remember what he tweeted, but it just felt like he was subtweeting somebody that wasn't me. So I decided that I was going to hack into his Twitter. Don't ask me how I go from A to Z, but we went there. So I was like, yeah, I'm just going to hack into his Twitter. I didn't really know the password, but during the summer I was helping him, I think with like a job application online, and to save it you had to like come up with a password, and the password was like King James 23, something like that. I think that's it. And he's obsessed with LeBron, so of course that was the first thing I remembered, and it was the first thing I guessed, and I got it right. So I'm in his Twitter, I'm looking around at his feed, don't see anything, and then I went straight to the DMs. So first time, this is when I should have left him alone. So in his DMs, there was multiple DMs from girls. There was one, we're gonna call the main one Becky. And then there was another one from like, her name was Jasmine. She was flirting with him, but he wasn't like really flirting back, I guess. I don't know. Maybe he was. He was a dog, so we don't really know. But Becky's messages went back all the way through the summer. Like they were literally on Twitter talking all through the summer, all until we got up to school. She was telling him how she couldn't wait to see him and she misses him and da 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 da. And he was like, I miss you too, and I can't wait to see you, and all this other stuff. Emojis everywhere. And of course, I'm confused because, so whatever. So I screenshot like the last few messages that they had about them like linking up or whatever, and I sent it to him, and I was like, I hope you find happiness with your dream girl, and that was it. You know, I'm dramatic, so whatever. And that's what I sent him. And then he replied, and he basically like shrugged me off, I guess. Yeah, he shrugged me off. Like he didn't really address it. He was basically like, whatever girl, you seen it. Like, I don't know what to tell you. Typical asshole. I'm just gonna tell y'all right now. Typical asshole. But it's kind of my fault because I kept playing into it. So, yeah, he was basically like, I mean, he didn't care that I seen it. Because, I mean, I seen it. So, basically, girl, what you gonna do? So, I caught myself ignoring him for a little while. Somehow, we ended up getting back together. I don't know how. I don't know if he told me he don't mess with the girl no more and he was just bored, or I don't know. But we ended up back in our entanglement. So yeah, we ended up back in our entanglement. So that was August that I found out that he was messing with her. And then by what's after August? September. After September, we had started like dating again. And November, we had another issue. So my best friend was like a tour guide at our school, like for incoming freshmen and stuff. So like she would show them around. And so she met this one guy named Dylan. And Dylan was like super cool with somebody on our floor in our dorm room. So Dylan came to our room and he was just like talking and stuff. And I was getting to know him. And then he was telling me how he was dating this dude named Robert in the same fraternity that Eric was in. So knowing me, I was hype. I was like, oh, I date somebody that's in that same fraternity. And Dylan was like, oh, who you dating, girl? And then I was like, Eric. And he just looked at me. And they should have told me when he looked at me like that, like, girl, hold up. Something is wrong. So he kind of like gave me this look. And he was like, oh, for real? He was like, well, you know, just be careful with him. Just be careful with him. And I just kind of, you know, okay, like, cool. Like, you know, okay, I will. So that was the end of that. And I think that was like October. So fast forward to November. And we had this fashion show at my school. So me and my best friend and Dylan and some of my other friends all went to the fashion show. And we sat there together and everything. And we made plans after the show to go back to the Greek off-campus house to like hang out with Dylan and his boyfriend, Robert. So that's what we decided to do. So Eric at the time was not in, I don't think he was in Cape. That's where my school was. I don't think he was in Cape at all. I know he had like left to go out of town to do something, but I know what he went out to do. I can't really remember. But he was not in town. So me and one of my friends went to the off-campus house, and that's when I first met Robert. But I didn't really introduce myself as Eric's girlfriend. And this is the weird thing, because I think that was my first time meeting him in person. Like, I knew everybody on the on-campus house, but on the off-campus, like, I'd never been to that house before because Eric never took me there, which that's a red flag too if you haven't met everybody's friends. At the same time, I wasn't really trying to go to that house because, like I said, that's two different scenes. Don't get me wrong, I love everybody, and I feel like I could party with some people, but that's just not my scene. So yeah, I don't know. So we get to the house and we're playing cards, and then Robert starts talking. And like I said, I didn't introduce myself as Eric's girlfriend. I just introduced myself as Michaela because that's who I am. So he starts talking. He's like, oh yeah, I don't know. He's like, yeah, I haven't heard from Eric in a while. He's like, yeah, I know that he's with Becky, but you know, I haven't talked to them in a minute. So like, I'm literally drinking when he says this, and I almost choked. So I look at my best friend. My best friend looking at me. She know I'm dramatic, so I'm literally trying not to hyperventilate at the table with everybody around. And like, I started blinking a lot because, you know, like I said, y'all, I'm dramatic. I cry. That's the first thing I want to do when I'm mad, happy, sad. I want to cry. So I'm trying not to cry. And I literally like kind of like ease my way out of the house. And my bestie follows me, and we're talking, and I'm just outside like crying, and I'm upset and everything. And then so my best friend's like, okay, I'm gonna go tell Dylan that we're going home, that we're leaving, because yeah, blah 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 blah. And then so she goes gets Dylan, she tells him, you're like, oh yeah, we're leaving. And then Robert's kind of like standing in the door. He's like, oh, what's wrong with her? What's wrong with her? And then Dylan was like, well, she's dating, Mama said, she's dating Eric. And then Robert started looking. He was like, oh, I didn't know. And then blah, 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 blah. So I go home. And by this time, I think Eric is on his way back to Cape. So I sent him a message because I put him on Do Not Disturb, I think, on my phone. And I sent him a message, and I basically was like, I'm done. I put him on Do Not Disturb. And yeah, I made a few tweets because like my best friend and then my other friend, she was in the room with us, and she was just giving us like the talk. We had a whole heart to heart, and I was telling them like, ooh, I'm done. I'm not going back. Like, I'm over it. I'm gonna, you know, see, like, I'm just gonna find somebody else to talk to and all this other stuff. So, because there were different prospects. That's the thing. There were like other people that I could see myself liking. I just wasn't really into it because I was trying to be, I don't know, I was trying to be a girlfriend, but whatever. So I'm telling them, yeah, I'm not going back, da 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 da. Like, you know how girls have the heart to hearts, and yeah. So I sent him the message, put him on Do Not Disturb, and that was it. I made a few tweets, probably talking about how I'm single and, you know, the typical F niggas and get money. I don't know. So I leave to go somewhere else. I think I went to go hang out with my guy friend that I had met the first week of school, and we actually were like super cool, and he liked me a lot. I just wasn't trying to take it there because I was dating. I never really went there, but I asked him could I come over because he stayed like on the opposite tower. So he's like, yeah, you can come over, and da 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 da. So we're sitting there, and like I'm just chilling, and we're talking, and I was honestly finna fall asleep there. Not on some like hoe stuff, but I was just finna fall asleep there because I was tired. So I get this Twitter DM from Eric because I didn't block him, and he was basically like, I need to see you. Please come over. I'm sorry. Y'all, this is so psychotic. Like, y'all don't know. I'm sorry. I'm just everywhere. Y'all don't know how mad this makes me when I think back on everything that I put myself through, how I let people treat me. Like, looking back on it, it literally makes me livid. It makes me livid. So he's all like, yeah, I miss you, and da 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 da. So me being the bird that I was at the time, yes, I called myself a bird because bird behavior. I had told my friend that my best friend was crying in the room, and I had to go back and talk to her, and he was like, okay, boy, are you coming back? And I was like, no. So I just went to Eric's. So I don't even think we talked about what happened, honestly. I don't even think we talked about him and Becky and him being with Becky. I don't even know if he knew what he was really apologizing for. But, hold on, y'all. Let me do my eyeliner. Okay, y'all. So, we ended up sleeping together. We didn't talk about nothing that happened, like, at all. We didn't talk about Becky. We didn't talk about Robert telling me stuff, like nothing. So after that, like, it was just whatever. We have our ups and downs, arguments, daily, just messiness. Anything you could think of, toxic is what we were. So that's really what I was going through my entire sophomore year, just like on and off. Him messing with Becky, me finding out. Him messing with other people, me finding out. Like, it was bad. Like, it was more than just Becky. Like, Becky, he was literally, like, dating her, I guess you could say. But the other girls he was just messing around with, still gross. I found out about all of that. So at some point, I think the end of my sophomore year, like, I told him I was done again. And I kind of really meant it, I guess, at that point, but not really. We had took like a break, and I just started shrugging him off, and I was telling him how, like, I'm tired and all this other stuff, and I just don't want to be with him anymore because all he does is just cheat on me, and he treats her like she's the main thing, and I think he's really in love with her because why can't he just stop messing with her and all this other stuff. So I guess he called himself like really cutting her off. I don't know why. Like, I don't know what in his head told him like, ooh, I'm gonna really cut this girl off for real. Because I know it couldn't, I don't think it was me and my ultimatum. Like, I really don't think it was me. I don't know what it was, but whatever. So he was like, you know, I'm really done with her and everything. So he blocked her on a whole bunch of stuff. And this is when it started getting really weird. Because towards the end of my sophomore year, like, we were in a good place. We were actually in a really good place. I had eventually met all his friends and stuff, and everybody knew me, even the off-campus people. Like, they knew me and everything, but I didn't really go to any of the parties because, again, I don't have no reason to be over there. So we started getting in a really good place, and I was still like stalking him basically and signing into his stuff. Like, at this point I knew his school email, so I would like sign into his school email. And I'm gonna tell y'all why, because like after his Twitter, I never told him that I hacked into his Twitter, but like I just didn't. So I had his Twitter, and like nothing was in there because I would check it. And then one day I just signed into his school email. I can't remember why I decided to do that, but he had like a whole bunch of emails from her, because he had blocked her. And on one of the emails, she was basically like, she's pregnant and she's going to go tell her family. Like the email that she sent him, she was like, I'm going to go tell my family this week that I'm pregnant, blah, 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 and you don't care, and all this other stuff. And it kind of just like shocked me. I was like, wow, like she's really pregnant. And I wasn't on like no, like, ooh, she's pregnant, I can't believe it, you know, F her, F the baby, he better not take care of the baby. Like, I was really perplexed. Like, okay, if she's pregnant, like, what are your plans? Like, you just gonna let her be pregnant by herself? Like, what are we doing? So I didn't talk to him about it because he didn't know that I was logging into his email. But I had called my mom and I had called her crying, just like basically telling her everything. And she was like, well, Michaela, I don't know what to tell you. Like, are you still gonna want to talk to him with the baby on the way? Like, what are we doing? So I didn't really say anything about it to him. I was just like, I told Mom, I was like, I don't know, because I don't know if she really is pregnant. Because she had sent like other emails when she was drunk, talking about how she misses him and she can't believe that he's treating her like this and all this other stuff, and how she's done and everything. And it was like really sad at this point. And I really couldn't talk. Like, I still to this day cannot talk about her because I was literally the same way. Like, I wasn't begging him to be with me, but I was melodramatic too. So like, I really can't talk about Becky, but she was not playing with these emails. Like, I'm talking about emails every day, y'all. So yeah, she was just like drunk emailing him and everything, and he wasn't really responding, and I think that's what made it worse. So yeah, to this day I really don't know if she was pregnant. Honestly, I really don't think she was, because here's another thing. So like the week before finals of spring of my sophomore year, I basically told him how tired I was, because I was in an elevator with some boys that were in his fraternity, and they didn't know me. Like, they were kind of older, and they were talking about it because I guess like at a party that they had, Becky was there, and I'm getting the names mixed up. Eric was ignoring her, and she kind of got into his face, and then the dudes on the elevator was like, yeah, I can't believe that Eric threw her phone and broke it. Y'all, and in my head, that's like kind of creepy, because he didn't even tell me anything about it, because at this point he started telling me stuff, but he didn't tell me nothing about throwing phones, breaking phones, seeing her at parties and everything. So whatever. And then, so at this point he really didn't even know that I knew about the emails, but he had called me over to his room, and he was, I'm sorry if this story is all over the place, but he was like, we're gonna have to take a break and all this other stuff because I have a lot going on, and I need to figure some things out before I could be committed to you 100%. And in my head, I already knew what that kind of meant. Like, I was thinking in my head, like, wow, she's really pregnant. And then, so I was like, does it have anything to do with Becky? And he was like, kind of. And then he was really trying to talk to me about it, but I wasn't trying to hear it. And I kind of like started crying. And then I just told him that I was tired of being number two, and that I really just wasn't feeling it anymore. And I just kind of left. And he was trying to beg me not to go. And I was just like, no, like, for real. Like, I can't do this ghetto shit no more. So that was the end of that for that year. I know y'all rolling y'all eyes at this point because I would be. So this is gonna be the longest video of my life. So that summer we started communicating again, and he actually came down here to visit me, and I went through his phone, y'all, again. And y'all, what did I see? A thread of him and Becky's text messages, and she basically had sent him some money to pay his bills. And y'all know, because he was in the shower when I went through his phone, and y'all know I went off. So I brought it up to his attention, and I don't even think I brought it up to his attention when he was here. I think we got into an argument, and then I just threw it up in his face. And then he was like, oh, you're going through my phone, you're going through my stuff, you're invading my privacy, and I can't believe you would do that. What's trust? What's our relationship if we don't have trust? And da-da-da-da. Literally flipped it on me and blocked me. Again, don't be a bird like me. So I'm all dramatic, crying. Like, I called him on my house phone, left him a message, like all emotional, crying, whatever. So he ended up texting me back, and we got back together. Y'all, we not. I think that was our last, like, toxic moment. My junior year, he actually acted right. Like, he didn't cheat on me at all. But I was kind of over him. Like, I was not into him anymore when we were dating my junior year. So I kind of, like, broke up with him. I, like, eased him out my life. So we're not together anymore. He's currently blocked. I don't know where he is. I don't know how he's living. He sent me, last time I heard from him, he sent me a DM, August 2018. He was a whole bunch of apologies. I still got the screenshot. I should put it in this video. I might put it at the end. But he was basically apologizing for how he treated me and saying, oh, you were the best thing that ever happened to me, but whatever, nigga. So I didn't reply. He got blocked on there too. And yeah, so that's the story of how I got cheated on, found out I was being cheated on, and still stayed. And I didn't even tell y'all the even more crazy parts of our relationship. That's just the basics. So yeah, so I'm gonna hurry up and finish up my makeup, show y'all the wig, and we're gonna be okay, y'all. So this is her, this is the wig. The nape is still kind of nappy, but it's just going to do. But that's her after I washed her, let her air dry, and kind of brushed her out while she was almost fully dry. So just gonna put my twist in a ponytail. Hopefully my hair can lay flat with these twists. But we'll see. They're kind of bigger than what I normally do. Who's complaining? I need to get some clips. Hold that thought. Okay. So I'm gonna glue her down with got to be black glue. I was gonna do the spray, but for some reason, when I do the spray after I do my makeup, it messes up my makeup. Even though my makeup's not the best right now, I don't know. So hopefully I don't struggle doing this. Oh my goodness, the wig is stuck to my wig head. So the nape is super nappy. Like I said, still, It's a little bit better, but still a little nappy. Y'all, I suck at gluing wigs down, which y'all knew. Y'all knew this from my very first video. I cannot glue a wig down for shiz. And I really don't got the patience for it either. And like I told y'all, this wig is not big head friendly. Or did I tell y'all that it's not big head friendly? So don't get this wig thinking, if you got a big head, don't get it thinking that it's gonna stick. Stay to your head, because it's not. I tried to cut it to make it bigger, to open it up some more. And no, it's just not for us big-headed girls, period. So remember that. I'ma still link it, but just know, I warned y'all. So don't try to get mad at me, sis. The front's glued down. So I'm gonna go off camera and hurry up and do this. Okay, y'all, so I got it kind of glued on as much as I could do. I didn't pull it up all the way to the front. That side kind of got down, but you can still see my hair. So I think I'm gonna swoop it. I don't know. I kind of want to swoop it. Do a swooping, and then have this part go down to cover up that black, and then put this in a ponytail together. Ponytail those two pieces together. Make sure your ponytail is tight. I didn't really do mine tight. I'm gonna take this right out. This hair probably isn't gonna get worn anymore. It's so big. Maybe I shouldn't have brushed it out. Y'all know I don't like big hair. Like at all. I actually hate it for some reason. Let's see. To the back or something. I don't like this space. Irritating me and my homegirls. Yeah, wear it to the back. I feel like if I wouldn't have brushed it out, it would have looked better. I don't know. If I do a ponytail, it would be cute in a ponytail. You can still kind of see my hair though. I don't know. I don't know if I like this, y'all. How long it is. It's cute. Maybe I need earrings. Maybe that's what I'm missing. It's giving me doll hair. Which, I mean, it was pretty cheap, so what do you expect? It's growing on me. But yeah, this wig I think has ran its course for me. I shouldn't have brushed it out more. So y'all, this is the final look. I mean, I kind of like it, I kind of don't. I feel like I shouldn't have brushed it out when it was drying because it's a little too big for me. But just remember, this wig is not big head friendly. If your head is bigger than mine, don't get it. But I am going to drop the link. It was platinum blonde, straight. I water curled this. If you want to see a video on that, drop a comment below. If you made it this far, drop a purple emoji or drop what you want to see next. Don't forget to like and subscribe. I would love to have you a part of the Charmed family. And as for the Charmed family, thank you for tuning in and subscribing and sticking with me. I love y'all so much, and I will see y'all in the next video. Oh, and if you want to see more stories, comment that below too. Don't talk about me. Yeah. And if you're a baby and you're going to college soon, or you're in college, leave that no good nigga alone, sis. And that's the only time I'm gonna say this. Don't be like me, okay? Do not be like me. It's not worth it. There are plenty of other men in the sea. Leave your options open and have fun. But I'm gonna go before I start preaching. So bye.